What are you trying to say?
Damn.
You got something to say?
You're really drinking that shit.
I'm a freaking alcohol. Just kidding.
Dude, no.
Dude, you drank like this much wine last time.
You're exaggerating.
No, you did because I poured it.
You did not pour that much.
It was up to here. No, just kidding. Here, you have the popcorn. The popcorn.
Okay.
We're
So
live.
this is Jasmine's last episode before she gets
before I die.
transitioned to
Transition.
government scum.
Oh my gosh! When you said transitioned, I had thought of like
you're transitioning to a man.
Yeah, people are probably thinking that
you pee fast like a man, like a penis.
The penis. Fast peer. It's one of my skills.
So it's her goodbye episode. It's also our anniversary.
Oh yeah,
it's our anniversary.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah,
like
when this airs, it's gonna be the anniversary.
Oh, okay, dude, that's crazy. 1 year.
1 year.
Wow,
that's crazy.
1 year wasted. I'm just kidding.
Time went by so fast.
This year did go by. Like, wait, I don't even know like what happened.
Should I stop eating in the mic?
I know. I was thinking that earlier, so I gave you the bowl.
So it's your last episode
for a while,
for a long time, for 30 years.
I mean, when we're 60, come back.
When do you come out of the military?
Well, I have a 4-year contract, but I get to come home for vacation. I'm not like.
No, I know, but like I'm saying, like when are you
like
done?
When am I free? Yeah, 4 years.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You ready for this transition?
Yes, I am actually.
I'm just gonna like.
Thought you weren't gonna ask me about it.
I'm just gonna use like hot words, be like transitioning.
Yeah, people are like,
Hashtag transition.
What is she doing? Because that's so big right now. Like people who've transitioned and all that, like they're
it's hot.
It's a hot topic. Yeah, they're getting a lot of views. So you can say I'm transitioning if that helps.
Imagine you come back in like 4 years and you're actually a man.
Oh my! I'm just like I have like a mustache.
You're like I'm finally Jasmo.
Jasmo.
That's the name you chose.
I heard like they do give nicknames, so we'll see.
Okay. So you're excited or what?
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Scared, nervous. Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. Obviously I'm nervous because it's like a whole new thing that
what's cute is that you're gonna look back at this 4 years later and you're gonna be like, damn, that was me when I first went to the military.
Yeah. I was just a little stupid person.
So you're gonna be flying planes or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like jumping out of planes. I'm gonna be like shooting people. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't tell you what I'm gonna be doing.
You're doing photography, right?
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
I thought you said you were.
I was.
You're a liar.
I know. I just changed it up. I'm gonna be doing mental health. Yeah, so I'm gonna be helping like the soldiers who need like mental health.
That's really cool.
So soldiers who are coming back from being
I'm almost done eating this popcorn.
Yeah,
for anyone that's like annoyed listening to me.
You finished that popcorn. Soldiers who were like, I was gonna say deported, but that's not the word.
Deployed?
Deployed, yeah. Soldiers who are deployed, they have to come back and do like a bunch of tests and make sure they're not like, I don't know, crazy. Like they're okay to come back into civilian life. So I think I'll probably be doing some of that. But yeah, like you said, I'll look back at this and it's gonna be like, no, bitch, you didn't do any of that shit. Like,
yeah, crazy. Damn.
Yeah.
It's nice to like. You think about you if you were to romanticize podcasting, it's like beautiful in a way where you do get to look back at your past. And I know you don't want to hear this because you're like, ew, that's cheesy.
I like cheesy stuff. I was watching rom-coms all day.
Yeah, you're watching The Holiday with Jack Black.
Something just broke off the clip. Jack Black. Love that guy.
Blackjack.
Blackjack.
But like if you look into podcasting, it's like a time capsule in a way. Like it
Yeah, that's
captures
true.
like a moment in time of what you were
Mhm.
thinking that day, and you
Mhm.
get to look back on it and like hold that memory for like ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, thank you
You're welcome.
for doing that.
I'm
And we
just
have
doing this for the people. This is all I'm doing this for.
it's not for anyone else, just the people. Yeah. And then we
Um,
can see ourselves too. So that's
yeah,
cool.
which is really cool too, because you're like, damn, that's what I look like when you come back and you're like all Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the
You're all
goal.
like beast mode.
That's the plan.
So what else? What are you
I
thinking?
wish
What are you thinking right now going?
I was just gonna say real quick. I wish
What do
we
you
No, don't say anything. I wish we were recording ourselves and doing a podcast from like the first time we started hanging out, because that shit would have been so funny.
I know that's true.
Would have been so stupid.
I was like thinking, I was like, should we go back to BK?
I was thinking that too for the last,
right?
Yeah, back to our roots.
But I just don't want to drive there.
Yeah,
So
we'll go back eventually. Get our chicken sandwiches.
you didn't even get chicken sandwiches. Don't pretend.
Never once did I.
Don't you pretend.
I know.
For the
Just use
people,
the
you're like,
restroom.
I'm so relatable, everybody. I eat chicken sandwiches and fries, and you don't. You don't even eat real cheese.
I eat chicken though.
Putting you on blast here.
No, for real. I eat chicken my mom makes.
Okay.
Wait, what are you saying? What am
I was saying, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are like some emotions? Like,
yeah. Honestly, I'm ready to go. Like, I feel like I've been like looking into this for so long, changing my mind on like the jobs and like
yeah.
I was gonna do Air Force, blah blah blah. So now I'm like, okay, I'm just ready. Like I've done as much research as I can.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just time to go.
Damn.
And also like I feel like after a year of me doing something, like it's almost a year since I moved. It's a year since I moved back. It's almost a year since I started my job, and like I always get restless, you know.
After a year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been restless, and I hate that about myself. But at the same time, it's like just go with it, you know. Like if I'm restless, then there's a reason for that. So just freaking do whatever else is calling me to do.
Do you feel anxious at all?
Not really.
No.
I
You're just
just
excited.
I'm excited. I'm nervous for sure, and I'm scared because it's very unknown. I'm mostly scared because I have to wake up early in the morning for boot camp.
That's annoying.
I'm scared because it's going to be cold out there. I'm going in the winter and I hate the cold. So it's going to be hard. Like I'm just scared because it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And I hate
to break out of like your habits and routine.
Cuz I'm like so freaking comfortable right now that like for me to do anything hard is like annoying. But I'm like I'm ready to do it cuz it's just been so long. So
yeah. Might as well. You'll move on.
Yeah, it'll be worth it in the end. It's gonna go by fast. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be so busy that I'm just not even gonna probably pay attention.
Yeah.
But like I'm excited because I don't really know what's gonna happen. I don't know where I'm gonna be based. So it is exciting because of that. Like I don't know who I'm gonna meet and like where I'm gonna go.
Right. Damn, that's fucking crazy. You're crazy for doing this.
I am. No, for real.
Like what the hell? Who says I'm excited?
I don't know. Like if you think about it, it's like something that's gonna pay for.
No, it's totally gonna benefit you once you're done with it. But I'm just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you project like how you're gonna change or like how you could change?
I think I'll change. Probably just be like more disciplined, which is a good thing. Could probably use some of that. Hopefully, I'll be like a little neater and more clean because that's something they teach you in boot camp is like clean your clothes and like clean your bed.
Yeah.
And like they check on that a lot. And I'll probably hopefully get some more leadership skills and be more of a leader type because I'll be with mostly young people. So I feel like I'll have to take on that leadership role and I'm excited for that and hopefully like that's what ends up happening. And I don't know, like just being away from home too is gonna teach me to be more like independent, I guess.
Self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was like that when I was out in Portland, but I was only gone for a year. So I feel like I
Yeah.
didn't give myself that full amount that I could have done.
Yeah. Damn, that's fucking crazy. Anything else you want to say?
I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know, right? It's weird. Like, right now, like, my sister and, like, people are like, oh, like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Like, calling a going away party. And I'm like, honestly, I don't really feel like doing anything.
Yeah. You just want to kind of chill
Yeah.
before you go. And then
Yeah.
you'll be back for Christmas, right?
I'll be back for Christmas, yeah. But, like, you would think that I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do, like, all these things before I leave. Like, I don't know why. I just don't feel like
I
doing
feel like, yeah, I
anything.
feel like that's more stressful when you're just like planning things, like all these last things that you have to do before you leave. So might as well just chill
Yeah,
because you're not going to be chill there. So take
exactly.
advantage of it.
I'm just trying to rest and just enjoy, like, I guess the little things. That's cheesy, but yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna
okay.
miss Gizmo a lot. That's gonna be toughest part.
Aw.
I'm gonna miss him
I wonder if they
so
have
much.
like therapy dogs over there. No?
Probably not. No, definitely not.
Gizmo. Okay. What else? What were we talking about? We had all these topics and now
So yeah, we are talking about, like, men and women and how, like, they're held responsible for things
mm,
differently.
you want to get all like into that one.
I thought that's what you wanted to talk
I
about.
know, but I just didn't want to get into that so fast.
Oh, okay. What do you want to start with? I don't care.
Okay, so let's talk about, you said you had a story about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so it's about guys, and I guess this could apply to women as well, but it's mostly like notorious that guys do this.
Mhm.
They're friends with a person of the opposite sex, so like a girl. And then let's say that girl is in a relationship. That guy is still her friend and he's like buying her all these things.
Mhm.
Um
Super weird.
which is really common for a lot
Yeah.
of women to experience
Yeah.
and uncomfortable sometimes.
So what that made me think of was one of my close friends, her coworker, who's a guy, and she's in a relationship. She's been in a relationship for a few years now, and he knows that too. This
Mhm.
coworker, he, like, gives her rides home, which is nice. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But
Mhm.
then it's come to, like, oh, I'll buy you lunch, I'll buy you coffee, and then
Yeah.
it came to, like, buying, like, little gifts,
Yeah.
like, oh, you needed a new charger, like, he buys her, like, a new charger, bought her shoes, buys her, like, clothes, and, like, yeah, it got to the point where she's like, oh, I have to, like, completely avoid him now because it's just getting so
Like
weird.
out of hand.
Yeah, because even though he's not, like, asking her, like, oh, like, let's be in a relationship or anything, it's just weird. Like, you're friends. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I think there needs to be like, I mean, like, if you have a friend, they're like, hey, like, I'll get you lunch, or like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
like, every now and then, don't worry about it, I'll get you this drink, or like small things. I think
Yeah.
like that's not that serious. But when it comes to like extravagant things, you know, like a plane ticket,
A plane ticket or was a
a concert, well, yeah, I guess
concert
like,
tickets?
yeah, concert tickets are kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Unless they're, like, going to the concert with you, then it's
Yeah,
fine.
I feel like there has to be a lot of like rules with it because
Mm-hmm.
there's just like there's a fine line with it. It can be really weird and like you're crossing a boundary,
Yeah, for
or
sure.
it could just be like depending on the context of the situation.
I think if you're in a relationship, no guy should be buying you, like, lunch or buying you gifts. I think maybe lunch once in a while, but, like, if
Yeah.
that was my girlfriend, I'm like, why do they have to buy you lunch?
Yeah,
Like,
like if you were with a girl and like her friend was like constantly buying her things
if
that,
it oh no. Yeah, that would not
no.
it's a no. It's a hard no for me. I would straight up, like, approach her or him I'd be like, hey, why are you doing that? Like, you're not in a relationship with this person.
Yeah, there's also like a responsibility that the person that's getting the gifts, like they need to set that boundary too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And that's what my friend did. I think she did like approach him and say something, and then it just kind of got weird after that. So
with their friendship,
yeah,
they just like stop being friends.
I think yeah, like they had to stop being friends because he kind of took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like he was like
He's
defensive
like, I don't
about
even
it.
like you like that, bro.
Yeah,
Chill.
it was something like that, and she's like,
It's so
okay,
funny when you like offend like a man's like I don't know, what is that like his like masculinity in a way or like
mm,
maybe just self-esteem
mm-hmm.
and they feel
Self
like
esteem. Yeah,
the need to be to like insult the woman for being like you're just out of line talking to me like that. Like you're out of line for like even assuming that I like you. You're
yeah.
crazy. I just bought you plane tickets to Italy.
That
Who
means
cares?
nothing. I do that for everyone, obviously.
Yeah, it is a common thing. I can say that it's
Yeah.
happened to me, but I don't know if I really feel comfortable sharing stories.
I mean, you could share like just the outline of it. Like you don't have to get specific.
Yeah, so I mean like things like gifts, like phones or like
Mm.
plane
You
tickets.
don't buy your friend a phone unless like for
Yeah.
me, if my friend was like, "Hey, I'm super broke and I need like a phone."
Yeah, it depends on context for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm your friend. I got you." Actually, I don't know if I would even do that for I'm just kidding.
Right? I wouldn't.
If I could,
I
I
guess like
would.
yeah, obviously it depends on
It's
also
depending on
everyone's
the
like
friend.
financial context of
Yeah,
the
because there's
situation.
definitely people that like try to get you to buy them things like all the time. Like
Yeah.
they'll start getting used to it. So
Yeah, like you used to get used to me driving you around before you got your fucking
you gotta
license. That
call me
shit was
out.
so annoying, man. I was
But
like,
I would buy you drinks.
that's true.
Hello, I
But
would. I would.
yeah, why did it take you so long to get your driver's license, by the way?
I was just like afraid
Yeah?
to drive. Remember one time you tried to teach me?
No.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna
You're
hit a
scared?
car. I'm gonna hit a car. And we were going like 5 miles an hour.
So you're just like scared? Were you traumatized by anything?
Yeah, I think I
Were you
was.
in a car accident?
I wasn't, but I remember my mom. I'm all
Was?
pointing. No, she was. She tried to teach me,
Hmm.
and I was like not scared to learn. I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. And she was like freaking out. She was like, "Oh my god! Like, stop the car!" I think I did run over some sprinklers pulling into the driveway, but like, you're pulling
Oh.
into the driveway, like it's not easy, you know.
Hmm.
And she like scared the shit out of me, and I was like, I don't think I can drive. Like, I think I'm really bad. And then like finally, my sister was like,
Get
"Fucking
your ass up. I'm
yeah,
taking you to the fucking Rose
dude."
Bowl.
Living with my sister for like what, like not even a long time, a year. That was like boot camp
Yeah.
for me. So I've kind of been through a semi boot camp already.
I'm glad she whipped you into shape because yeah, dude, you were just like biking everywhere. And like you're like,
It was
can I put my bike in here?
it was getting kind of weird for everybody.
It's getting uncomfortable.
I got to the
It's like
point.
who's taking Jasmine home today?
I literally got to the point where I was like, I'm cool with like not driving.
Yeah.
It got like very convenient for me, but then once I started driving, I was like, oh no, this is way better.
Right? Like it's especially living in LA, I think it's just like it makes the most sense.
It was just nice. I don't know.
And then you
Like,
get to like listen to music and just like be on your own driving.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed taking the bus too.
Hmm.
Because like you could listen to music on the bus too, but
Yeah, but there's
it's
also like weirdos and
there's
sometimes
weirdos
people that smell.
and you have to leave early
Yeah.
wherever you take the
You have to
bus.
be on time.
But anyway,
Oh
yes,
yeah.
you would drive me a lot. I think everyone would.
Everyone did. Everyone had their
Probably
fucking turn.
you and Jessica
Yeah. I was just
because
about to say Jessica too.
she was driving since like day 1. Yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure I bought you guys lots of drinks.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough drinks. I tried.
Yeah. The thing about Jessica, she was smart though. She charged you for gas. She was just like,
She
give me
did.
gas money. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. I remember you would tell me, you'd be like, she makes me pay for her gas.
charge me like
I'm like,
whatever
that's
the.
fucking smart, man.
You're like, I'm gonna start doing
She's
that
like,
shit.
I'm no one's fool.
She's all about that money.
um. Anyway, so yeah, people should not be buying people gifts like that. That's just like out of line.
What about giving rides to
Same
people?
thing. Same thing for like girls. Like, right? If it was the other way around, like girls should not be buying gifts for guys that are in relationships. That's
Mm-mm.
fucking weird. I'd be
Yeah.
so pissed off if somebody ever fucking did that.
What would
Like,
you
don't
do?
even talk to my boyfriend. Like,
Don't
don't even
even talk. Don't even look in his direction.
like don't. I would be pissed. I would be more mad at the guy actually if that's like a consistent thing.
Oh hell
If it was like
yeah!
a one time thing, I'm like, this is all I'm gonna tell you, and like, no.
Like handle that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna keep it going, then it's a you problem.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm wondering if that's happened to me. Like
people buying you gifts,
no, like buying like one of my ex-girlfriend a
gifts,
gift.
and it bothered you.
I feel like there was something that happened and I was like, I'm gonna talk to him. Like, I'm
I'm
not
gonna have a
afraid.
seat with him.
Yeah. I'm like, he's bigger than me, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you need to set your boundaries and like
Yeah.
so that way people. It's annoying that you do have to do that and people don't just like automatically know and respect. I think
Mhm.
not enough people put themselves in each other's shoes, right?
It's hard
I
though
think that's a
sometimes.
problem.
It is a problem, yeah, but it could be really hard sometimes to like not think about like what you're doing wrong or like just think
Yeah.
about not yourself. I think a problem nowadays is people just freaking think too much about themselves.
You think that's a problem now? I think that's true.
No,
I
it's
think you're right.
I think you're onto something. Yeah, dude, I just realized this cuz like, I work at a mental health facility and all these people have issues and shit.
Mhm.
Like we all have issues,
Yeah.
you know? And like when it comes down to it, I'm realizing that the people that have the most trouble like getting back to like a better state of mental health is it's hard for them because they just keep thinking about themselves. Like they
Mhm.
cannot get out of their own head and everything is like me me me. And I think I've told you this before. Like these people like they can be very self-centered, but like once
Yeah.
you start thinking like, "Oh wait, like what is that guy going through?"
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Right.
like, oh yeah, like he probably feels this way. You stop thinking about yourself for a second, then
Yeah.
you stop thinking about all the shit that's happened in your life because a lot of people in general ruminate on like, oh, well, this happened to me and this happened.
Like they can't get over it and they can't move on
They
and
can't
they
move
can't
on.
just like they can't be present. They're like stuck in like some past.
They're stuck in the past. I mean, like maybe they're somewhat present, but yeah, like not really because they just keep thinking about all the things that happened to them in their life, and
And they're
then
just like
they'll
letting it bleed out into where they're at, in the
yeah,
moment.
and
Yeah.
it's like if you took a second and like notice like, hey, this other person's also going through something, maybe you can help them out. Maybe you can talk to them.
That's true. There's a lot of people that like are definitely going through shit. There's
Yeah.
me and my coworkers were just talking about how like I feel like I'm being such a downer for even bringing this up, but how common it is for men to actually be molested
Mhm.
and how like
Oh yeah, it is.
how we don't hear it often enough. We hear more of not that this doesn't happen to women more because it obviously does. But like
Mm.
it's not to say that it doesn't happen to men and like little boys so often and it's common. I was just
Yeah.
saying how
I think it's honestly just as common.
I can say that majority of my ex-boyfriends have been molested.
I didn't know that.
Like a good handful of people I've dated or just been with.
I wonder if that's why they had relationship issues.
Right. And so it's just like you never know what people are going through. And
Yeah.
so it's like nice to, or it should, I don't know, be like more common for people to just like step back and be like, you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what this person's been through. And some people are fucking weird from trauma, you know? And like just
Mm-hmm.
if they're still a nice person to you, if they're still a good person to you, then like just move on. You don't know what people are going through. Sometimes just put yourself in other people's shoes for a second.
Just for a second, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were saying like, oh, people don't put themselves in other shoes. Like, no, they freaking don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to go on with your day and just think like from your own perspective and not think about anyone else. Like, we all do it, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't know, like working with these people, and I see like they all tell me like there are different things going on in their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, this to me, I'm like, well, this guy thinks he's better than everybody because of his problems.
Yeah.
But like in reality, it's like, no, this guy's got like way bigger problems, and he's not letting it affect other people because he's trying to get better.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I've come across so many people in my life that like are very just like optimistic and they have just such good energy, and those are the
Mhm.
people that have had the most fucking trauma. Those are the people that are just like still fucking kicking. They're like
Mhm.
pushing through, and you would
Yeah, it's so
never think
crazy.
or know that anything had happened to them.
Yeah,
And
that's true. I
and
mean, bad things have happened to people and they're still very bitter and they didn't learn from it. I
yeah,
think like it's easy to say like, "Oh, learn from your mistakes, learn from your traumas." Like obviously like I've never been molested,
yeah,
thankfully like cuz it's so freaking common.
it
So
is.
so I can't say like, "Oh, like freaking get over that." Like no, like definitely go to therapy and like you know, deal with it the right way, but don't let it affect like your relationships because
Or like
or
even hurting other people because that
definitely
happens too. And then there's
yeah.
just a cycle of this same trauma of like
Mhm.
kids being molested, and like
Yeah.
then it's just like then because you've read about like that statistic, right? It's like the most common sex offenders are like
The ones that
people.
have been
Yeah.
sexually offended. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so it's just
Cuz
like
they don't know what else to do.
they've kind of in a way like normalized it, or
Mhm.
like they've
It's
like
normal to them. Yeah, they think like, "Oh, that this happened to me, so I can." It they know it's wrong, but like
yeah,
something inside of them is like, "Oh, like, makes them feel good because
yeah,
you know,
they're
they're
like
used
fucked
to it."
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's all crazy. Like the
Mhm.
psychology of it.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy like you like sometimes I'll be watching a movie, like I was watching that one I was telling you No Hard Feelings
Mm,
with Jennifer Lawrence, the new rom-com, and like she was as soon as her and this guy she's dating started getting close, like they didn't just immediately have sex like she wanted to because he was like, oh, like I need to like slow it down, I need a connection,
mm,
and she was like, okay, fine, like, and they started getting to know each other. As soon as that happened, she started like pulling away from him.
mm.
She's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that or whatever, and in my head I'm like, okay, she obviously has like abandonment issues.
Yeah,
Like just from like I don't know, psychology being so like more it's talked about more now.
right.
Like it's pretty obvious that she has relationship issues like and then she said in the movie like, yeah, my dad left us.
Yeah,
So it's hard for her to get close to people because
right.
she thinks they're
They're gonna
gonna
abandon
they're
her.
gonna leave her. And that's like the simplest terms. Like obviously it's more complicated, but
Yeah,
when it comes down to it, it's like obviously something happened to her growing up and now
right.
it's like affecting.
In a way, it's kind of like a f- like a fear of rejection in a way too.
Hmm.
Um,
It's a way to protect yourself because she's already been rejected by like her dad in the movie. So she's
right.
like, well, I'm not going to get rejected again. So she ends up being like kind of a slut.
And it's crazy because that is kind of like similar psychology of women that tend to sleep around a lot more.
Daddy issues.
I wouldn't just necessarily say daddy issues. I think there's a lot of women that are like, I think there's a good amount of women that are like hopeless romantics and they're looking for someone to fill something. And not like that. I feel like that was easy for like
That's what
that
she
was like a
said.
joke right there. Um,
I wasn't going to say
but I know someone out there is gonna think it.
it.
So
Hmm.
and it's gonna be my boyfriend. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so like I think there's just a lot of women that are like have this like yeah, I mean I guess it could be a dad issue. It could be also just like maybe just like a fear in some way. I don't know. I think it also could be fuck, I have to cut this out.
Should I get more? I kind of want more wine.
Get some wine.
Yeah.
We'll do an intermission.
Flip came off. Oh, it goes back on easily.
So I was gonna okay, so what I was gonna say, you good?
Yeah, that had eyelash.
I was gonna say, so talking about sluts.
Since you brought it up.
um I think there's this problem with like our present state where people are so scared of rejection that they want to just give their body up, right? Because it kind of like what's that term? It's like loosens the blow or like softens the blow. it softens the it softens the blow of like, oh, well, I'm like I don't know, have you noticed that women are more masculine now?
Then when? Like since we were younger?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No, you don't notice things?
I don't notice anything. I'm just kidding. Okay, like, well, maybe in the sense in like the business world, like working class women, yes, they have to be more
More they have to take on
masculine.
more roles. They have to
Yes.
like be more of like this like stronger masculine type to like be
Yeah.
more like self-sufficient, to just be relying on themselves.
Mhm.
Um and that has a lot to do with like daddy issues too, I'm sure.
Hmm.
But I just think that being a slut is not just having daddy issues.
It's much more than
I
that.
think
I think
there's I think
it's
it's more than that.
I think women could possibly want to sleep around, and men
Mhm.
could want to sleep around because
Yeah.
they want to feel like empowerment. They want to feel more
Yes.
powerful.
Completely
It makes
agree.
them feel more in control.
True. I completely agree.
That has to have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very empowering, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe they don't have debt. I mean, I feel like they probably do still have some type of daddy issue.
It's all on the dad.
Because it's
I feel
like,
like mom issues are also a big problem. There's
mm,
also a good amount of men that I've dated or just like hung out with,
yeah.
and they have like a lot of mom issues. Like that's just a common thing.
Yeah, there's just like so much in the family dynamic that can
Yeah.
like mess you up.
Affect.
Like, yeah, affect your relationships. Like I've heard of this like one couple, the boyfriend, like he was very
Maybe you
he
should move your like that.
okay, so I could block the light.
Yeah, that
he,
works.
he was very like the provider of the family, and
Mhm.
like his mom and like sister like relied on him, and I don't know, like I just think that's weird, like,
Yeah.
and then it just became very like toxic to where it affected like everything in his life.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't have your sometimes like family is like you can't have your own life, like, you know?
True. Because your family is like kind of holding on to you and just like
Yeah, they're
taking
like,
away your life.
yeah, like you need to
True.
like be with us, like blah blah blah, and it's like no, like you can go off and like have your own life, and especially I guess in the more Hispanic cultures.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of that is usually like when you're a man and you stick around, then you're just like required to do all these things, like take on all these responsibilities, especially if your dad is not around.
Yeah,
You're required to like be the provider and all that.
which kind of sucks for them, but at the same time it's like you have to set that boundary.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy just like how over time our roles have changed. And the reason I say women are more masculine now is because it has to do with like finances. Like, yes, they're taking on more of that responsibility, but
Mhm.
they're also just like taking on more just, and it's good. But I also say it's bad because
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like what?
It just made me think of something. One of my coworkers. I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I
One
was
of
already
my
lost.
one of my was lost in thought. One of my coworkers, she says all the time, like, I'm trying to be more like of my feminine self because she's
Yes.
like a single mom and she has to be
Oh
playing both
yeah.
roles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah. I totally agree. Single
And
moms always have to take on this extra
yeah.
masculinity. Yeah.
And I don't really know like what she's doing to like be more her feminine self,
Mhm.
but apparently she's trying to be, which I to me I'm like, yeah, good for you, you know?
Yeah.
Like you recognize like, oh, I'm like too much in my masculine, like I need to be more in my feminine.
Right.
So
And
that's cool.
and I think that's what like women mean when they're looking for men that can make them be more feminine and be just like in tune with their femininity.
Mhm.
There's not enough men that are being taught to be like the masculine selves because I feel like
Mm.
men need a lot of healing. I feel like there's a lot
Yeah,
of like issues with that and like
for sure.
boys growing up and like not knowing how to like really be empowered in their masculinity.
Mhm.
And so then it becomes like toxic and it
Toxic
becomes just
masculinity.
like anger issues or it's like
Mhm.
over feminine where they're just like too sensitive and they're just relying on women to take care of them,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, there needs to be like that
Like a
in
good
between.
balance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't date men, so I never really cared to think about that. But I'll admit, like, I've met quite a few guys that are like, you know, they could take on that role, and they're still pretty feminine. Like, they're out there.
Yeah. There has to be a good balance and I think it's like overhyped to be like, oh well, a man can only be only masculine because there needs to be
Hmm.
a good balance for the man to be able to be feminine too. Like, and it's kind of annoying that these terms are just like masculine, feminine, but it's like also
Yeah,
like
there's like way more in between.
communicating is considered like a feminine trait, you know.
Hmm.
And so when a man can communicate well, he's in like tune with his feminine side, which ultimately makes him more masculine
Mm.
in a way if he knows how to balance that out.
Hmm.
So I don't know what our point was here.
Think. Well, you were saying like women are being too masculine, so like, yeah, I mean, I think women probably should be more in tune with their feminine. Like, I could say that for myself, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm pretty feminine for being
Well,
gay.
I think it also depends on like what you want to be. I don't
Yeah, that's true.
like you're gay, so like
Yeah,
you clearly want to be like you've been like a tomboy and like you've been
I've
more.
been more like if I'm in a relationship, I'm the more masculine
Yeah.
one.
So I think that's also like that's a little different like
Yeah.
versus like a heterosexual relationship. Like women don't really want to be a good amount of women don't want to take on that masculine. That's why like single
Mhm.
moms like they want help because like they want
Mhm.
some guy to like help them so they can stop being so masculine and being the
Mhm.
dad.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah, I do think that women, like especially single moms, can get kind of stuck in that masculinity though.
yes, and then it becomes a
And
problem.
then they're
And then they
like,
scare men away.
yeah, they're like, I don't need a man, blah blah
Right.
blah. Um, yeah.
I've seen that too. I've met
Mhm.
so many single moms that are just like, he ain't shit. Like, he's
I
this and
don't need
that. Like, I
him,
don't
blah blah
need him and that.
blah. Which
And
is true, but like you should probably be open to let him, you know?
and then women are like, essentially like hiding or like pushing the man away because the
Mhm.
woman doesn't want to get in tune with her emotions and she wants
Mhm.
to shut it out like before she can feel anything, before that person can even see her feel anything.
So we keep talking about masculine and
Yeah,
feminine,
I don't
but
know
let's
why.
like wait, like we haven't really even defined like what does that even mean?
Interesting. What
Right?
does that mean though? Like, yeah. So like
Masculine, like how would you describe like a masculine man?
like just someone who knows where he's going, someone that's confident, somebody that's,
Confidence, okay.
yeah,
Like
like
decisiveness.
decisive.
Okay.
um I think those two are like so important in being like in tune with your masculinity.
Okay. So decisiveness and confidence, and then you would say that for a woman as well.
For women, I think it has to do with like, I don't know, how would you describe like feminine?
Feminine? No, I'm saying masculine woman.
Oh, for masculine women.
Yeah.
Which is why like a single mom is a perfect example, because she like has to know where she's going. She
Mhm.
has to take control, and she
Mhm.
has to take the lead
Make the
and
decisions.
make these decisions
Yeah.
because she's has a kid.
Yeah.
So that kid needs to survive, so she's like taking on all these roles,
Mhm.
and she's kind of losing sight of her femininity, which is being like softer. And I'm trying to think of like other words to just,
For femininity.
yeah.
Well, when I think of masculine, I think of kind of like almost emotionless, like more logical.
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna let my emotions like take over. Like I'm gonna use my head right now and yeah, make a decision.
Yeah.
Like I guess women are more or being more feminine is like kind of feeling like what's right, like
Yeah.
feeling it out, like oh, like get your like what is your gut kind of telling you,
Yeah.
and like I guess more listening to your heart. That's
Hmm.
more feminine, and so if a woman isn't really feeling her feelings and like say she doesn't even cry a lot, I would
Yeah.
say she's
Not feminine
she's
though.
not being like very feminine or like being
True.
vulnerable.
Yeah. I think vulnerable is a good feminine
If you're not
word.
being vulnerable, it's gonna be hard to be in a relationship. First of all, like that's where like masculine and feminine like come together.
Hmm.
But like even a man needs to be vulnerable at some
Yeah, and
point.
that's not to say that only men can be masculine and only women can be feminine. Like
No,
that's not
they
to
both
say.
need to be it.
So
Both.
so yeah, men need to have some feminine characteristics, which includes like being softer sometimes, which means
Mhm.
expressing their emotions. It means crying. It means
Mhm.
being human. You
Yeah.
know. And same thing for women, like
Mhm.
being logical, being
Yeah.
like decisive. Like think those we're on our the right track to defining these
I
words.
think everyone, like man or woman, you both need to be masculine and feminine. You
Yeah,
can't just go one way.
because then it'll be toxic.
Because then it'll just be like if you're, I guess, too feminine, what does that mean?
That means like, I don't know, you're just relying on someone to just,
You're like so codependent
yeah, you're
and
just
you're
like a
like
baby.
almost like an emotional wreck, I feel like.
Yeah,
Like you just need to like get out of your feelings.
yeah,
So yeah, like I feel like everyone needs to like be in the middle. Maybe you lean more towards this, maybe you lean more towards that. Like that's fine, but as long as you're not like too much over here, too much over there, like that's when it starts becoming toxic.
yeah, that's true. Um, and I think that's the problem sometimes with just like how people are being raised now. Like people are being raised to be, you know,
Mhm. Too masculine, I feel.
too masculine. I think
Yeah.
men and women are
Oh yeah.
being trained to be more masculine.
Mhm.
And not that masculinity is a bad thing, but sometimes there is too much of something that makes it bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that that's becoming a problem. I think, and you know, some people could say like, oh, well, you know, it's because these men don't know how to fucking act, so we have to like, women have to like take on all this shit. And it's like, yes,
Mm.
that's true, but there's just like, how are we gonna fix that? Like, what are these things
Yeah,
that we need to be aware of?
there's a reason why they don't know how to act. It's because people told them like don't cry and shit like that.
Yeah, and here's another thing. It's like who's raising them?
Mhm.
Women. So we women also need to acknowledge how the
Mm.
fuck we're raising people and how we're treating other women and how we're treating other men. And a lot of the times women are really fucking hard on other women. And a lot of the times like it's
Dude,
unfair.
how many times do I hear girls say, "I don't really like have a lot of girlfriends. Like I rather
Yeah.
hang out with guys." And I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, like,
Like
oh, she's a pick me. No, it's because women are fucking hard on other women. And it like that like the perfect stereotype would be like the mother-in-law who like
Mm,
is, you know, a bitch to the girl who's fucking
super,
raising her son, you know?
super
Like
judgmental.
the
Yeah.
girl who's like really caring for her son.
Mhm.
And then it's like, and the girlfriend still gets the shit end of the stick
Mhm.
by putting all her energy into like, you know, helping this man, and the mom's still a bitch. Like that's like the perfect
Well,
example, and it's a lot of cases, like in a lot of
it
situations that
sucks.
happen.
I feel like it's easy for a woman to treat another woman badly. Men, they're just very competitive, so that's how they are.
I think the problem also is that like women assume that men are dumb and they're just like not capable, and they are dumb sometimes.
I'm like, well,
So I think we're just like harder on other women because we're just like, well, why'd you do that? Why didn't you do that? I think it's
yeah,
just like so easy to nitpick
yeah.
other women and not like really put yourself in their shoes and like
Mhm.
understand like, you know, where they're coming from. It's just so easy to do that to other women, and it's
Well,
fucked up.
I feel like all women are like just by our what is it called? Not our genetics, but just the way we're wired. Like we all feel like we are kind of in competition with each other too, because we're
Yeah, like
all
how society has basically.
society and just from our like an ancestral shit,
Yeah,
like technically we are supposed to be like mating, with a male, and we're all supposed to be like competing against each other. I mean,
right.
especially men.
Yeah,
But it's all status,
yeah,
like we all want to like, kind of be better than the other person. And
yeah.
women are, I'm pretty sure women think way more than men. Obviously there's guys that think a lot too, but I feel like women kind of overthink things.
Yes, that's
And
so
that
true.
that is a very generalized statement, but I mean, more likely, right?
Yeah.
So if they're overthinking things and they're like, "Oh, like she's probably did this and did that." So it's easy for a woman to like more fight about things.
It's because women understand that women overthink and their women are manipulative. And
Mhm.
so with that thought process, you assume automatically that that woman's intentions are bad
Yeah.
and you don't trust her.
Yeah.
Like automatically.
Women are kind of like wired not to trust automatically, I feel like,
True.
just because we have so much at stake.
Mhm.
Um since we can get pregnant. And this is going back to like way back in the day when that was like our biggest issue was like
Yeah.
getting pregnant. So
Yeah.
we have to be very selective with like who we're friends with. Like we can't be friends with someone that's going to like possibly ruin our status or whatever.
Yeah. It's just crazy cuz like, you know, like the internet paints this picture that there's like all these girls that are like, oh, we're BFF, or like, oh, like, you know, we have all these big groups of friends. And it's like in reality, girls know that shit like isn't even real. Like a lot of the times that shit's
Hmm.
like all these girls actually don't like each other. All these girls are just like talking shit about each other behind their backs.
Yeah. But and to be
Not that it
honest,
doesn't happen though. Like, you know,
yeah,
that
it happens
it's
for
just like
sure.
it's a common thing that you constantly I've heard
You've
about that a lot.
constantly seen
Yeah.
it, yeah. But to be honest, like I feel like I haven't really experienced that personally for
Mhm.
me.
But I also think it's also because you're not competing with these women either.
That's true.
And so they don't find
That's
you a threat.
true.
You're not a threat to them.
Yeah, you're right.
It
If I was like dating guys, it'd probably be different.
would be different
Yeah.
completely. And
Yeah.
you'd probably be treated differently too.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't have a lot of guy friends because I'm like
You're competing with
I'm
them.
competing with them. But like I I don't know. I don't try actually to have guy friends, but I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't hate them.
Yeah. Um I don't know what started that whole conversation, but
I don't
there was
know.
another point I wanted to make. Oh, so how many times like, I mean, I'm not farting by the way.
Yeah, you legit just farted.
Um Okay, so I was gonna say this is common where, and this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time because this has happened to me, where you're nice to somebody and then they get the like wrong idea and they start thinking that you like them.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah. I mean,
Did you have to like set them straight?
no, I didn't have to set them. Wait, did I?
You had to be like, I don't like
I
you.
don't
Get over
know.
yourself, you weirdo.
I'm just like a nice person, I guess. So yeah, I think they could take it the wrong way for
For
sure.
guys or girls, has that happened to you?
Out for guys. Yeah, for
So
sure for
guys thought
guys.
that you liked them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember like at PCC, there's a bunch of weirdos at that school, you know? I gave this guy a ride home one time and I
Mm-hmm.
also complimented his tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like freaking bugging the shit out of me after that, like thinking we were gonna date and
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, first of all, like, no, like it's not a big deal
First of all, I don't even like you.
at all. Like, and I just thought it was so weird, you know? But yeah, like for sure, guys mostly.
Guys tend to, I feel like it's a common thing where guys tend to think like,
Hmm.
oh, she's into me, she likes me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It's like delusion.
It,
I think men have delusion.
I think men are kind of just more like, oh, like she's a little into me, like let me try it, like you
Yeah,
know, like why not? Trying to think if like I've been nice to a woman.
I think it's because like guys intentions are like, she's nice to me, like maybe I can do it with her, like it's just like,
Yeah, that's like where their mind goes. They just don't think about just being friends.
yeah. Do you think it's possible for men and women to be friends? That's like
I
question.
mean, if they're both straight, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right.
I think it's possible.
I think it's
Yeah.
possible too. In a lot of cases, it is obvious, like when a guy likes a girl, that's his friend, because that's usually the case.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it is possible. There's
Yeah.
just not a lot of people that know those boundaries and know
They
how
have
to
to
just like keep
have
that respect amongst each other, you
they
know?
have to set really good boundaries. But that's happened to you where you're like nice to
You know this
someone.
happened to me.
Yeah, I think you did tell a story
Yeah. So that's happened to me like several times.
several times.
I'm I am also just a nice person
Mhm.
and it's kind of annoying sometimes because I maybe don't appear that way, but I am like, especially like one on one, I think I'm a nice person.
Yeah. I'm trying to think though if that happened with a girl and like she thought I liked her. They probably do just cuz I'm gay. Think girls probably think I just like them.
Maybe
And I'm like
you're like, you're not my type,
yeah,
bitch.
I do. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, yeah, you want to date? um this happened to me in one occurrence, but this has also happened to me multiple times. I think I just give like, I don't know, 'cause I'm trying to like, I was gonna try to like be like, oh, maybe it's my fault, but no, it's like totally all these people's
Don't
faults.
blame yourself.
Like, I was just gonna talk about that one girl because I told this story to you, but I didn't say it here.
Oh.
Um, so that girl at the bar in West Hollywood that I was telling you about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we were in like a circle and she was like talking to my friends and like she knew my friends or something and like I was just like being nice to her and like I was being nice to everybody. And she like turns around and like, no, she's like right behind me when I turn around, so it's like positioned for me to like automatically like be in front of her face and like we're just like there.
Mhm.
And I think like maybe she just really wanted to kiss me.
Was she drunk or
I don't know if she was drunk.
okay?
Probably.
Yeah, it's
But
hard to know.
I just like also think like, yeah, people are just like, I like her, like, she seems cool and like they just think that they could like kind of in a way take advantage of that situation or think that like they even have a chance without even asking or
Mhm.
talking to you.
That's really weird. It's really bold. You have to be super drunk for that.
You also have to be like kind of full of shit.
Yeah,
And
you have to think
so
you're the shit.
I was, I was just like, no, thank you. I
No,
don't want
thank
to
you.
kiss.
Yeah, to the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but that's happened to like guys too, where I'm just like nice, like you how you said, like you just compliment a tattoo or something, or like
Yeah.
you genuinely think something's cool, and you're like, hey, that's a cool shirt, or
Yeah.
like
You almost can't even give a compliment nowadays, I guess, without thinking. Like,
without that person
yeah.
thinking like, oh, they're into me, like
Yeah. Are we like naively nice or something? Because now that I think about it, I compliment people a lot, especially when I worked at Trader Joe's because
you do compliment people a lot, yeah.
I didn't know that about myself. So I complimented a customer that I'm checking out in line,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Hey, I really like your shirt. It's like a Stranger Things shirt or
Yeah.
whatever." And then like my girlfriend at the time was like right next to me, so she had overheard that.
Mm.
She was like, "Why did you say you like her shirt?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because I liked it. Like what? She's like, "You're flirting with her," and I'm like,
That's
that's
flirty.
flirting. Like holy shit. Like
You're like, I've been doing this too
I
much.
know. I'm like, I guess it must be flirting all the time. But yeah, it's just like, is that flirting? Like what?
Yeah, it's definitely not, but I think
To me, it's
we're
not.
at this point where everyone just assumes that like, yeah, that's flirting. That means you're into them. You just wanted a reason to talk to them, and so you're complimenting them.
Yeah. I mean, I can see if like I literally went up to this person like out of nowhere and said that, I would say
Yeah.
yes, that's flirting. But
Yeah.
literally, like they came into my line and like we
Yeah,
had
it's just like a
nothing else to
casual
talk
thing.
about. So I was like super confused by that. I was like, oh my gosh, like not even.
Yeah, so there was this like situation where I had a boyfriend at the time, and obviously like I have a boyfriend right now, but like this was in the past. And my friend was into this guy. She really just wanted to hook up with him. And she kept telling me to text him because she was like scared to text him for some reason.
Mm,
So I was like, like
typical.
whatever, like I'll text him. Like I knew who this person was. And I was just like, hey, like you down and like hang out. But it was like going to be me, her, and him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, not like, and I made it clear too, because I was just like, I'm not like crossing those boundaries. I'm a very like faithful person. I'm not gonna like be disrespectful. But if your friend wants to fuck, like you're gonna like help her, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I did that, and there was like she made me do that probably like a couple of times.
Mm.
And I could see how like there's like some maybe that actually gets confused, but every time like that person would come, I would leave. And I would just leave them too to just like be talking and hanging
Yeah.
out and stuff. So it was very obvious like I was just out of this room, and like,
Yeah.
you know, made that very clear. Um that guy I guess got the wrong impression and
Oh
thought
my
that
gosh.
like I was down or I was even
You're like you're
interested.
going after him. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That's
And
crazy.
I could see how maybe that could be confusing, but
Because you were hitting him up.
yeah, but I always made sure that I was just like, so and so is going to be here. She wanted to know if like you're down to like, hang out
Yeah.
or something. Like, we're going to be here. And yeah, apparently this guy like totally got the wrong idea.
Dude. That's why I think guys are like sometimes they're so freaking
But he
stupid.
was so annoying because every time he would come around, I would leave. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even want to be around them because I'm just like, I'm gonna let her try to like
Yeah, let her do her thing.
accomplish this
Like
thing
a
that
good
she's been wanting to
like
do.
a good friend.
And yeah, apparently like he was telling people that like, there was a chance, which there wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I think that just like really pissed me off, and I was like, you know what? No, like I'm never going to do that for a friend again
Mm-hmm.
because of that situation.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
I mean, she had some problems. She just was like too shy.
Yeah. No, like this is why I think guys are stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they're smart guys, but like this stupidity. So
The delusion.
yeah, so I
The
feel like
audacity.
the audacity. I feel like I look pretty gay enough to be like, yeah, you know, she's probably gay or whatever.
Yeah.
So
You too.
you know, like when I worked at Coffee Bean, like I feel like I looked super gay. And there was literally this customer who I was always nice to because it was literally my job to be nice. And I can have a conversation with like almost anyone. So me and this guy would always talk, and like he was pretty cool. And he somehow found me on Instagram. I don't know how. And he like messaged me, and like my coworkers would be like, "Oh, he likes you, blah blah," blah. And I'm like, "No, like he knows I'm gay, you know."
Yeah.
And but he literally messaged me and like, "Oh, like you're so cute" or whatever.
Ew.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like they were right." And I'm like, "Dude, do I even have to say it?" Like, but like guys will literally just like try to shoot their shot no matter what.
And then it's just like the ego. It's like, oh, like
I don't know what it is, dude.
Yeah, it's delusion, it's ego, it's just like
actually
desperation.
I have a funny story actually. So I have to take like where I work, I have to take them to the store. We go to like Target or whatever. This one guy, he was talking to so many girls at Target, like trying to get their numbers. So I was like, that's cool, man, you know, like you do you. And then we're in the van because I'm driving a van. It's like a bunch of people. And this girl
driving a van? I can't even picture you driving a van.
I hit a car. Yeah. Fuck? Oh, that's another story.
Dude, can you picture me driving a van? Like a big van?
Yeah.
What? That's embarrassing.
It's not hard. That's embarrassing. Okay, so I'm driving this
Don't
van.
ever picture me driving a van.
I'll have them take a picture on my last day in the van. So we're all waiting in the van. This girl walks by, and we're in the parking lot, and she was really pretty. And he's like yelling at her because he has the door open. He's like, "Hey,
ew!"
Hey, he was catcalling her, and I was like, "Dude, like she's really pretty." And he's like, "Hey," and she like looked, but she like kept walking, and this guy runs out.
What?
He ran after her, dude.
That's scary.
And so
that's
but he's
really
not
scary.
But he's not running fast. He was kind of jogging, whatever. But either way, like all of us in the car were just like, no. No way. And then the guy in the back's like, this guy has balls of steel. Okay, so finally he comes back and he's like, I got her number.
What the
And I was like, no. I was mad. I was like, no, you didn't get her number, bro. I'm like, what did you say to her? He's like, I just said like, hey, girl, you didn't hear me calling you?
Hey, you got a hearing problem?
She's like, yeah, I heard you, but like, I'm shy.
What the
and
hell?
Also, like, I don't know how to say
wild.
this, but he's a black guy too. So, well, I think she was black too, but whatever.
No.
And so he's like, yeah, I was calling you, like, I don't know if he said she was pretty or cute, but he was like, I'm not from around here, like, I'm like, trying to describe himself. And then he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to, like, make new friends. And she gave him her number. And I was like pissed. I was like, she was honestly like really pretty. Like, how did you do that?
Here's another thing that people forget also. And I'm not saying this happened, but this has happened to me sometimes too, where I've been like kind of unsure about the situation. So I'm just like, and I didn't realize it like subconsciously, but like women are constantly like in fight or flight, right? Because men are a threat. So like, just because you give someone your number, it actually doesn't mean that you're interested. It could mean that like maybe you were scared.
Yeah, like please just go away.
Please go away.
That's true.
And I'm not gonna like.
That's true.
This is how I can get rid of you, because I've done that where I'm just like,
because you could just block their number.
Yeah, you could just ignore them.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's like something to consider is like maybe like it's like people laugh about it and like it's like, oh man, that guy's cool, like he actually pulled through and got her number, but like think about like
how she felt
or like how that even ended up because
Yeah.
it could have been, either way. Like either, yeah, maybe she was into him, or
Yeah.
like maybe she was just trying to like get rid of him too.
Yeah.
Because the fact that like somebody's coming after me, like out of a car,
Yeah.
I would be like, holy fuck, this guy's already crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I just want him to go away now.
And he kind of is. So
So I'm just saying, like, there's another way to look at that too. Cause like I've been
Mhm.
in that situation where I've given my number because I was like, I just want him to go
Yeah.
away.
To me and like to the other guys in the car, we were all like, dude, like that's cool.
So that's why I'm saying, that's why like I want to be clear, is like
She would
it
probably
actually isn't cool sometimes. Like be cool in like an actual like nice, like respectable way. And like that's
Yeah.
how you're gonna get someone, like in the long term of things.
That's true.
You know?
Not like freaking running after.
Or like scaring a girl.
But like I think to him, like he didn't even want to talk to her. I think he was just like bored.
Doing it for
He was
like
just
the thrill.
He was just doing it to do it.
To
Yeah.
see if like he could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
also wrong.
Yeah, it's not right. Yeah. But I don't know. I was like, to me, I was like, oh, like don't be so scared, just to
Yeah.
talk to people, cuz like you never know who you can meet like as a stranger. But
I
like
know.
of course don't be creepy.
And that's true. Like, yeah, I think people should shoot their shot.
Yeah.
I just think there's like better ways to go about it, where like you're not like creeping someone out or being a weirdo about it, you know?
Mhm.
Like, if you really want things to work out in the long term, don't be a fucking creep or a weirdo,
Yeah.
you know? And like,
For sure.
put yourself in someone's shoes and be like, is this creepy? If you have to question, is this creepy? It's probably creepy.
Yeah. Some guys, I think they don't know like what creepy is, so like they just do anything. Like to him, like he's like, no, that's not creepy.
That's
Like
not out of line. Yeah.
to
But most
run.
guys, I would also say, like, don't also put themselves in like a person's shoes, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
That it could be scary. Like, who's this
yeah.
random dude chasing after me? Like,
Right.
he might want to kidnap me or whatever.
Like,
Like,
he could hit me right now.
as women, like, we do have to be like cautious all the time.
Yeah, like
and it
every fucking
sucks.
minute of the day.
Yeah. Like,
It's pretty annoying.
we can't be alone, like, at night in LA. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It sucks, but yeah. I don't know why we started talking about that.
Oh, because I was saying that like guys and girls get the wrong impression sometimes if you're just being a nice person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which has happened to clearly both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's happened to a lot of girls. I think a lot of girls are also just nice. They're not nice to each other, but they're just nice.
They're not nice to each other. Yeah. I'm sure it's happened to guys too. Like,
no, yeah, definitely. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, how many times it's like some guy like opens a door, like, he says something and then she's like, oh, he's into me, like,
yeah, they
ew.
think he's like
Yeah.
so into them. He's like, no, he's actually just nice.
So basically it's just like people just need to get over themselves,
pretty much.
like really
Yeah,
stop
just
being
get
so
over
full
yourself.
of shit.
Just freaking get over yourself.
Really get
already.
over yourself and humble yourself. It's like not
It's not
you're
that
not all
serious.
that. Like, get over it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so that was a good topic.
So something I did want to, because we were talking about like how men and women are held responsible differently, like how you said that girl was trying to kiss you.
Yeah.
But if it was a guy,
Oh, yeah.
you would.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get into this later because you wanted to get into like
well,
right
we're
away.
already, like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I can make it a long episode since it's your going away episode.
No, we're not doing it long. I'm just kidding.
We're already here. So go ahead. What were you saying?
So like if it was a guy that tried to kiss you, you would have been like, dude,
yeah, I would have been like, ew, get away, like,
you
what
asshole.
the fuck, don't be in my face.
Yeah, but since it was a girl, you were like, oh no, thank you.
Yeah, I said,
All
oh no,
polite.
thank you. Like,
Yeah,
not into that.
and
I don't know. I also felt like I was in her turf, like her territory, like West Hollywood.
Yeah, you're like,
but
I'm
everybody
not
knows.
to be here.
Everybody knows West Hollywood's like just fun. Like
That's
even,
true.
even for straight people.
That's true, but it should be just for gays.
Needs to be segregated.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys can't come. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so that was like a thing I was mentioning to you is that
Mhm.
just like sometimes we don't hold women accountable because we're like subconsciously assuming that all women are safe.
Or like gay people accountable.
And you're saying gay people.
Yeah, like they could get away with saying like slay bitches.
Yeah.
Like,
and like automatically you just assume that person's gay, and maybe they're not. They're just saying like something that a gay person would say, you know?
yeah, like they can say things and get away with it. Like I could say things about gay people and I guess technically get away with it because I'm gay, but it's like, should you really be saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trans people wouldn't allow it though.
Yeah, no. There's nothing goes.
No, but yeah, so it's just, you just think about how like that in that situation, yeah, I would have totally been like, I would have pushed that guy.
Yeah.
If it was a guy, and I'd been like, get away from me, like creep.
Yeah, creepy.
But because it was a girl, I said like politely no thank you, like as
Yeah.
if like she even asked. Like she
Yeah.
didn't.
She did the same thing. Like
She
a
kind
guy
of like
could
in
have
a
done.
way assaulted me.
Yeah, in a way.
Or tried to.
Should
And
have pushed her.
and it made me feel uncomfortable because I was like, bro, like what the hell? Like I'm here talking to people, having a good time, and then I turn around and like, you know, that happens, and it's like I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that.
Girls could be creepy.
And it's
too.
creepy.
Yeah. Was she like dykey?
No, she was like a pretty lesbian, I guess.
Oh.
Or maybe she was bisexual. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was really weird.
Yeah. So I don't know why it made me think of like, because I told you I was
First
watching.
of all, also you just assumed she was dykey. Like
I don't know, WeHo. What do you want me? A lot of dykey girls there.
I think I could pull pretty girls, first of all, okay?
Oh yeah, because you got your lipstick.
Yeah.
I know. I need to get some of that.
Anyway.
You do my
go on.
makeup.
I know. I was supposed to do your makeup like last
I
year.
look all gray.
What were you saying?
So I was watching the Britney Spears.
Oh yeah, okay. Go on.
Documentary.
Yes,
and
because we were talking about grooming.
Yeah, and like obviously she was groomed a lot growing up in the industry, but well, mostly I wanted to say like about her relationship with Justin Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, Justin Timberlake came out with "Cry Me a River."
Yes,
and it was like, oh my
about
gosh,
her, yeah.
like
everyone knew it was about her.
Britney cheated on him. Like that's so messed up. But like we never heard her side of the story.
Yeah,
he cheated on her too, according to her book.
Yeah,
he cheated too. She was just as hurt as him.
mm-hmm.
Apparently she had an abortion because of him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to have a child, so she was super heartbroken. And the media made it seem like it was all like her fault,
right? And this also kind of goes back to like us being like it's the woman's fault. Yeah, putting the blame all on the woman.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were like, "Oh, so it's really easy for the media and society to believe that yes, she cheated on him, but it's hard for them to say like, oh, he cheated on her, and that's what happened."
Right.
So they automatically like kind of thought of her a different way and just felt sorry for him because of that music video he came out with. But like the truth is like it goes both ways.
There's two sides to the story, and yes, maybe they can both be true. You know, like people, there doesn't have to be just one side, and everyone at that time period took Justin's side. Everyone assumed like Britney was like a hoe and she's just like dumb, and
it's because of the way the media was portraying her, and like she felt in the
and she
book,
was overly sexualized as well.
Yeah, like, she was, and like she wanted to be though. She wanted to be more like provocative because they were like, "Oh, you have to be the good girl," but like she was trying to be more sexual because like I guess that's how she felt comfortable. And they wanted to sexualize her too, obviously. But
I also feel like they were trying to sexualize her in the good girl way, though. Like putting,
not the way she wanted to be. So the media just like totally made her how they wanted her to be. Yeah, and like they took the side of Justin because he came out that music video. Even I believed it too. I was like, oh yeah, she cheated on him.
Yeah.
But they never thought like, oh, like did he cheat on her? Yes, he cheated on her too, according to her book, if it's all true, which I believe, yeah, there's celebrities, like, they probably both
Well, you
cheated.
think about even just like what happened to Janet Jackson too. Like, you know, he
Exactly.
exposed her, and maybe it was an accident, but he basically ruined her career by doing that.
And that's what they were saying in the documentary, that he finally made an apology to Janet Jackson and Britney Spears in
Wow.
2021, and he said, I respect both of these women, and I am sorry for all the wrong I've done.
Like the least he could have done, whether it was an accident for Janet Jackson, like the least he could have done is just like said something and been like, "Hey, like don't be so hard on her," or like, "Hey, like, you know, I
I feel
did
like,
that."
yeah, he didn't really like play his part in all of that. Maybe he tried, but I don't know. Like, they always kind of made it out that he's like kind of the good
He's
guy.
the good guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like the boy band star. I'm not saying he's like a bad person,
I
but
don't
like
think he's
it
a
was
bad person
it was
either.
so easy for them to
Not
say,
that I
like,
care, but like,
I know.
yeah, I just like, I think there's two sides to it and they could
Yeah.
still both be true.
And it's just so easy for people to believe more like the woman doing wrong
Right.
than the
Especially
man.
during that era too. Like,
Yeah.
it, like, you know, the same thing happened to Pamela Anderson, right? Like
Oh yeah,
her
yeah.
career was like ruined
Yeah.
and it was like all her fault and it was an accident. Like somebody leaked something that was in her home in a secure
Yeah.
place
But
and
her
it was
husband's
still her
life
fault.
wasn't ruined.
Yeah.
Like, to him it was like,
It
okay,
was
yeah,
like,
you had
oh,
a sex
she's a
tape.
whore, she's a slut, like, and it's like, damn, like her career got ruined because of that.
Yeah.
Just
Even though
because
she
she was like she liked to be sexualized, just
Mhm.
because she was like, you know, like
Yeah, that was a good
this
documentary too.
woman that was like notorious for being just like sexy all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like because of that, it was so easy to just like blame her
Mhm.
and be like, it's her fault. That's what, too bad.
Yeah.
That's what she gets.
Yeah, it's so weird that like the media does that to women automatically. They're like, yeah, she's the one that did wrong, and like no blame
Yeah,
goes
right?
on the man for some reason. Like, they don't get
So,
in trouble really. I mean, obviously they do. Like, they like kill someone or like hit a woman, but that's what it takes basically.
right.
Yeah.
Something like that severe.
Like
And even then, like, you know, there's all these like sexual assault cases, there's all these like murders that happen, and like people don't even
nothing
end up
happens.
going to jail.
But like, did you hear about the Dodger
Yeah,
pitcher? Yeah,
they finally.
he like totally he's not welcome
But
anymore.
that was
Like,
already like his second time. Like, you know, like the first time it was like
yeah, you're right. So it's like the first time they're like, oh, okay,
they're like,
yeah,
just don't do it again, dude. Like, come
yeah, and
on.
this dude really had to go and do that shit again,
It
and
had to
like,
happen twice.
it's messed up.
Yeah.
If it was a woman, she would have been taken out, like, even if it wasn't true. Like,
You think about like, and I hate to use this example, but like, because everybody like kind of hates Ellen, but Ellen DeGeneres got like shamed, right, for being a bitch and like she's not really a nice person or something.
yeah, she did.
But it's like you think about all the men in like Hollywood and in show business that are probably fucking assholes, and like
Mm-hmm.
nobody will hold those people accountable, or like nobody will say anything about them. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
defending Ellen, I'm just saying like that's a perfect example of like,
Yeah, because she's a woman, she should be nice.
yeah,
Because she's a woman, she should be blank. And they were also saying in that documentary that, like, when Britney shaved her head, obviously, like, the media went crazy over that. Like,
yeah,
they're like, she's lost her shit. In the book, she was like, oh, I did that as a big fuck you
yeah,
to everyone.
I'm
Like,
sure,
you want me to be like this? Well, fuck you. Like, by
yeah,
shaving her head. Like, it was a big, like, F you to everything. Like, she just had it. Like, so many people are making money off of just taking a picture of her.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really blame her. Obviously, I'm Team Britney.
I mean, she shouldn't be like dancing around those knives, but like, yeah, I'm all for that.
I mean, let her dancing around with the knives.
It's a little crazy. She could. I seriously think there's something wrong with her, and it's also because she has all these mental problems
There
from being
definitely is.
suppressed, like for so long.
She had a conservatorship.
She's basically a little kid,
Yeah.
in an adult woman's body,
Well,
because of the fact that nobody let her grow and be who she really is as an adult.
yeah.
And so she's like so suppressed that she's weird and she's dancing with knives. And, you know, I mean, I don't fucking care, but like, I'm just saying, like, it's clearly like no normal person's like out here doing that, you know?
And posting it.
I mean, what is
So,
normal though? But like, yeah, it's just
I
like that's
mean,
not normal. It's a little weird.
if I lived her life, I'd probably be crazy too. Like paparazzi following me all the time, having her dad be her like owner.
Yeah, I'm not like disagreeing. I'm completely saying this is the reason why she's fucking weird, and she's fucking weird now. Like
She's a weirdo. Yeah.
she's a weirdo.
But it's just messed up. Like, cause
And
like
we all did it to her. Like everybody that bought into like not caring about, I mean, you know, you shouldn't really care about celebrities anyway, but like during that time, like everyone basically was just like buying into just like her pictures and like all
what's
these,
going on with her.
yeah, all the bad news that's going on with her.
I mean, she just like has good music to me. So I just want her to be happy.
Yeah,
Like it's just sad
everyone
that like
deserves to be happy.
it just sucks that like she barely got her freedom
Yeah,
literally 2 years ago. So now she wants to freaking dance with knives and post it.
yeah,
That's what she wants. I mean, she looks like a real mess,
she does.
but I mean, I guess yeah, she's a mess.
It
So.
is what it is, and I think that's also her way of being like, fuck you, like I don't care.
Yeah.
But I also think she just doesn't know how either.
Yeah, she got really messed up, and I don't know why like Christina Aguilera didn't get messed up. She was
Well,
just as popular.
if you think about it, Christina Aguilera also took a step back from like the spotlight when she had kids.
Okay.
She like was constantly, she really just like stepped back, and like the media actually allowed her to step back. They never allowed Britney to step back.
It's
Like
messed up.
whether Britney tried to hide and like be away, like they still found a way to like find her and like
Yeah.
still humiliate her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess she should have like really got more secluded or something.
yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like her family has a lot to do with it because I
Well,
know
totally, because they kind of kept sending like the paparazzi and
I
like
think
everybody
they
to look
want the dad made so much money off of her.
off of her pictures and everything.
Yeah, like during the conservatorship or whatever, he made so much. Like as soon as that happened, they put her on a tour and they booked her for the Vegas thing.
Yeah. You think
So
about it, Britney's like a puppet.
no, yeah, that's what they were saying in the documentary.
She's been like
She's
a
literally
puppet
yeah
for the longest time.
for so many
and now
people.
we're like wondering like why is she so weird?
Because she's literally been doing what people want of her for so long that now she's doing what she actually wants.
Which is dancing with knives in front of the
dance
phone.
with the knives.
So, you know,
She cracks me
that's
up.
what she wants to do.
I saw some people like that was their Halloween costume.
Oh yeah, I sent you that video.
Oh my gosh. So
Anyway,
good.
I feel like these were good topics.
Yeah, you got pretty deep.
Yeah. I don't know if we had like one point, but
Yeah, it was like about men and women and like
men
the
and women.
differences in society and like masculine, feminine.
This is obviously our observation of like,
so it's totally correct.
So it's always right and
Yeah.
never wrong.
Yes.
And
we know everything.
And I don't want to talk like I know everything. This is just what I see and what I've experienced. So I'm not trying to be like, you should do this, you should do that.
Yeah, we're probably gonna watch this in like a few years and be like, wow, we're
Like,
so
that was so
freaking
cringe.
stupid. Where do you think we're gonna be like when I'm out of the military?
Dude, I don't fucking know. Don't fucking talk to me about that right now. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, no, I probably, if I look back on this like a couple years from now, I'm probably gonna cry.
Just start crying. What the heck?
I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't know anything. When you think about it when you're like 20, you're like, yeah, I got this. I got the world. Like, it's cool.
I got
happy.
the world.
I'm positive. And then shit
Is that
happens.
how you felt when you were 20?
I was happy. Were you sad?
That's not what I asked. I mean, like, do you think, like, yeah, you were like, I got this. Like, I
Yeah,
know it
I've
all.
always no, I didn't think I knew it all, but I was always like confident in like me being able to do something.
Were you
Like
sad?
I was always like very sure of that. Like, no, I need to do something, and that probably also has to do with like a response to like low self esteem when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
You had that low
I
self-esteem.
that I felt like no, I need to do something. I don't even have a choice. Like I need to be like better than like what I was. So
What was the stupidest thing you ever did in your 20s?
shut the fuck up. I don't know. A lot of stupid
A lot of
things.
things. Okay, name one.
I don't know.
There's
Too
many.
many.
It's
Like
too
I
many.
drank way too much. I feel like my liver is probably still recovering from that. Drinking Four Locos was probably the stupidest
Drinking.
thing.
That's pretty stupid.
I mean, if you listen to that last episode with me and Monica, like we were talking about how like we would chug 40s. We would chug beer.
Under the bleachers of the
Like
football.
yeah, I remember this specific time being at like a football game and drinking like a 40 and shit or a Four Loco or whatever,
I
maybe
was with you
both.
one time for that. Well, like, why were we there?
Yeah.
Well, we weren't in our
I know,
20s.
I was just thinking that too.
We were like
Like why were
17.
we at a football game? We weren't even like football people.
Because we just we wanted to be
We're
out.
just alcoholics.
Yeah, from day one. No, we
Anyway,
just wanted to be out.
I'm gonna end it here. You have any last things to say?
Um, God bless America.
Oh God.
I'm all gung ho.